Speaking clearly is one of the most powerful tools you have in your life. It is not just about saying words. It is about making sure people understand you, feel your intention, and respect your presence. Every time you open your mouth, you are giving a message to the world. That message either builds trust, opens doors, and inspires action, or it leaves confusion, hesitation, and doubt. The way you speak communicates more than your words ever could. It communicates your confidence, your clarity, and your commitment to what you stand for. People will follow clarity and honesty far more than they follow cleverness or fancy words. Speaking clearly is not about being loud or aggressive. It is about being deliberate, precise, and authentic. When you speak clearly, you reduce misunderstandings. You reduce the energy wasted on explanations and corrections. You reduce frustration for yourself and others. Think about how much time is lost in meetings, in conversations, and in relationships because people are unclear about what they mean. Speaking clearly is the first step toward influence, because influence requires trust, and trust requires clarity. When you speak clearly, you are telling people that you value their time. You are telling them that you are serious about what you are saying. You are showing that you respect them enough to make sure they understand your point. Speaking clearly also shows that you respect yourself, because if you do not take the time to organize your thoughts and express them clearly, you are sending a message that your ideas are not important. People sense that energy. They respond not only to your words but to the way you carry yourself while speaking. Speaking clearly involves preparation, but it also involves mindfulness in the moment. It means taking a breath before responding instead of rushing to fill silence with noise. It means choosing words that match your intention instead of words that sound impressive but confuse your listener. Clarity comes from knowing exactly what you want to communicate. Before you speak, understand your purpose. What is the point you want to make? What action do you want the other person to take? When you have that clarity in your mind, it translates naturally into your speech. It gives your words direction and power. It is the difference between someone walking away feeling inspired and motivated versus someone walking away feeling lost and unsure of what they heard. Speaking clearly also demands attention to your tone and pace. The way you say something matters just as much as the words you choose. Slow down if necessary. Speak with conviction, but do not rush. People need time to absorb and process what you are saying. Your tone should reflect your confidence without arrogance, your calm without indifference, your sincerity without hesitation. Another crucial aspect of speaking clearly is using simple language. Complex words and fancy expressions might impress some people, but they rarely build connection. The goal is not to show how smart you are. The goal is to communicate in a way that everyone can understand, remember, and act upon. Simplicity breeds power because simplicity breeds understanding. When people understand you, they can respond, engage, and follow. When they do not understand, they hesitate, question, and sometimes disengage entirely. Speaking clearly is also about removing filler words and unnecessary repetition. Phrases like, basically, and repeating the same idea multiple times dilute the message. Each word you speak should earn its place. Each word should carry purpose and intention. This does not mean you must be perfect or robotic. It means you must be conscious of the effect your words have on those listening. When speaking clearly, it is also important to pay attention to nonverbal communication. Your body, your facial expressions, and your gestures all contribute to clarity. A confident posture, direct eye contact, and deliberate hand movements reinforce your words. People hear more than just the words. They feel your message. They judge whether your words are genuine or empty based on your presence. Speaking clearly is therefore a full experience. It is voice, words, and body working together to create a message that is easy to understand, powerful to hear, and impossible to ignore. Listening also enhances your ability to speak clearly. When you listen actively, you understand where the other person is coming from. You can tailor your words to address their thoughts, concerns, and feelings. Speaking clearly is not just talking, it is responding to the needs of the listener. It is bridging the gap between your idea and their understanding. That is why leaders who communicate effectively are also excellent listeners. They create connection through clarity, and connection is the foundation of influence. There are practical steps to develop this skill every single day. Start by organizing your thoughts before speaking. If you have a meeting, a conversation, or even a casual chat, think about the key points you want to communicate. Practice summarizing your main idea in 1 or 2 sentences, then build from there. Speak slowly and intentionally, and watch your words as if they are leaving your body. Notice whether they convey what you truly want to say. Record yourself speaking and listen. Notice your tone, your pace, and whether your words match your intent. Over time, you will develop a natural rhythm that is both powerful and easy for others to understand. Another step is to ask for feedback. Notice if people look confused or distracted when you speak. Ask trusted colleagues or friends whether your message is coming across clearly. People who care about you will give honest answers, and this feedback is gold. Adjust accordingly. Speaking clearly is not a one-time skill. It is a practice that improves every day. The more conscious you become about your words, the more impact you will have on every relationship and every situation you enter. Clarity also builds confidence. There is nothing more inspiring than a person who knows what they are saying and says it with intention. Confidence is contagious. When you speak clearly, people believe you. They trust you. They are willing to follow your guidance because they are not guessing about what you mean. You are showing them the way in a simple and direct manner. Influence is born from this clarity and trust. You do not need flashy speeches or dramatic declarations. You only need honesty, simplicity, and the courage to communicate what matters. Finally, speak clearly because it is an investment in yourself and your future. Every clear conversation builds credibility. Every misunderstanding avoided saves energy, frustration, and lost opportunities. Every person who understands you is one step closer to shared success. The power of clear speech is the power to inspire, persuade, and create real change. Speak clearly so people know you mean business, not because you want to impress them, but because you want to make a difference. Speak clearly to lead with integrity. Speak clearly to connect with purpose. Speak clearly because the world responds to clarity, and your influence will grow with every honest, direct, and intentional word. In the end, speaking clearly is more than a skill. It is a choice. It is a commitment to yourself and those around you. It is a reflection of your respect for the people you interact with and your respect for your own ideas. When you make that choice every day, when you practice it consciously, you unlock influence that is steady, trust that is lasting, and connections that are meaningful. Speak clearly and watch your life change, because people finally hear you the way you meant to be heard. The words you choose have power. They do more than express your thoughts. They shape the way you think, the way others perceive you, and the outcomes you create. Strong words are not about being loud, aggressive, or intimidating. They are about precision, confidence, and alignment with the mindset you carry. If your mind is strong but your words are weak, your influence is limited. People will hear hesitation, doubt, and uncertainty, even if you feel clear inside. To lead, to inspire, to influence, your words must reflect the strength within you. A strong mindset is not something you put on for others. It is cultivated in private. It is built through discipline, reflection, and consistency. Once your mindset is strong, your words must follow. Every statement you make should reflect your conviction. Weak words create weak outcomes. Strong words create opportunities, open doors, and build trust. They tell people that you know who you are, what you stand for, and what you intend to achieve. People do not just follow ideas, they follow certainty, they follow clarity, they follow someone whose words match their inner strength. Using strong words begins with awareness. You must listen to how you speak to yourself and others. Notice the phrases you use when you describe your goals, your challenges, and your capabilities. Words like "I think," "maybe," "I hope," and "I guess" may seem harmless, but they undermine your authority and confidence. Replace them with decisive language that reflects certainty. Say, "I will," "I choose," "I am committed," and "I take responsibility." Each word carries energy. Each phrase you choose either reinforces your strength or diminishes it. When your words are aligned with your mindset, you build momentum. Your mind and speech move together, and that energy is contagious. Strong words are also grounded in clarity. They are simple and direct. People respect leaders who say what they mean without hesitation or confusion. Avoid vague expressions that leave your message open to interpretation. Instead, speak with specificity. Say exactly what you want, what you expect, and what you intend to do. This does not make you rigid, it makes you trustworthy. When people understand your position clearly, they feel confident following your lead. Clarity in speech builds clarity in action. It turns ideas into plans and plans into results. Another key to using strong words is to speak with authority without arrogance. Confidence does not mean belittling others or dominating a conversation. It means stating your thoughts and intentions firmly while remaining respectful and open. Words that reflect a strong mindset carry calmness, certainty, and purpose. They do not over-explain or justify unnecessarily. They stand on their own merit. When your words reflect authority without aggression, you create influence naturally. People are drawn to that presence because it signals security and clarity. Listening is a part of using strong words effectively. It may seem contradictory, but the most powerful speakers are also the most attentive listeners. When you listen first, you understand the concerns, perspectives, and emotions of others. This understanding allows your words to land with greater impact. They are not random statements or abstract ideas. They are targeted, thoughtful, and strategic. Speaking with strength is not about volume, it is about relevance and resonance. Your words must connect with the reality of the people around you. Emotional awareness is another essential component. Strong words reflect emotional intelligence. They recognize feelings without being controlled by them. They express empathy, acknowledgement, and understanding while maintaining firm direction. For example, instead of saying, "I don't think this will work," say, "I see the challenges, and I have a clear plan to address them." This transforms doubt into clarity, frustration into focus, and hesitation into action. Strong words carry both strength and sensitivity. They communicate intelligence, maturity, and integrity simultaneously. Practice is essential. Strong words are developed over time through conscious effort. Start by paying attention to your inner dialogue. Notice how you talk about your life, your goals, and your challenges. Replace weak phrases with decisive ones. Practice speaking your intentions aloud. Notice how your posture, tone, and gestures reinforce your words. Record yourself if necessary. Observe where your energy wavers or where hesitation creeps in. Strong words are not accidental, they are deliberate. They reflect the discipline of a strong mind consistently applied. Storytelling is another tool for reinforcing strong words. Share your experiences in a way that communicates lessons clearly and confidently. Do not overcomplicate your stories or fill them with unnecessary detail. Highlight the choices you made, the actions you took, and the outcomes achieved. People respond to authenticity and clarity. They respect leaders who can articulate experiences in a way that others can learn from and apply. Strong words make stories more memorable and more impactful. They turn personal experience into universal insight. Using strong words also means taking responsibility for your communication. Avoid blaming language or vague statements that diffuse accountability. Say what you mean and own it. Statements like, "It is what it is," or "I didn't do anything," weaken your presence. Replace them with ownership-driven phrases. "I accept responsibility and I am taking action," or "I am committed to resolving this." Ownership reinforces your mindset, builds trust, and demonstrates leadership. People are naturally drawn to those who own their words and actions. Consistency is key. Strong words must be repeated through action. It is not enough to speak decisively once. Your words must align with your behavior daily. When you consistently speak and act with clarity, determination, and integrity, people begin to rely on you. They begin to see your words as promises backed by action. Influence grows when speech and behavior are inseparable. When your words become a reliable reflection of your mindset, trust is automatic. Be aware of the energy behind your words. Every statement carries emotional weight. Weak words carry hesitation, fear, and uncertainty. Strong words carry intention, direction, and conviction. People unconsciously respond to that energy. They are more likely to follow someone who speaks with purpose than someone who talks endlessly without direction. Choose words that carry strength, inspire action, and invite collaboration. Speak with energy that matches your inner mindset, and others will naturally align with your direction. Avoid overcomplicating your language. People respond to simplicity, clarity, and honesty. Using complicated terms or unnecessary filler does not make you stronger. It creates distance. Speak in ways that everyone can understand while still reflecting intelligence and insight. Strong words are inclusive, not exclusive. They draw people in because they communicate ideas clearly and leave little room for doubt or misinterpretation. Finally, use strong words to reinforce your own mindset. The words you speak shape your internal beliefs as much as they communicate to others. Each time you say, "I will handle this challenge," instead of, "I hope this works out," you are training your mind to act decisively. Words are not passive, they create reality. By speaking with strength, you reinforce your confidence, your focus, and your determination. Over time, this practice creates a self-sustaining cycle of mindset and communication that propels every area of your life forward. Strong words create strong outcomes. They inspire others, clarify intentions, and turn vision into action. They build credibility, command respect, and open doors. When your words match the strength of your mindset, you stop being misunderstood, ignored, or questioned unnecessarily. You become someone people can rely on, trust, and follow. Strong words are not optional for those who want influence and results. They are essential. They are the bridge between your inner power and your external impact. Using strong words is a daily choice. It requires mindfulness, reflection, and discipline. It demands courage to speak what is true, relevant, and meaningful. It requires the willingness to align your speech with your values and your goals. When practiced consistently, it becomes natural. It becomes part of your presence, part of your identity. People respond to that strength instinctively. They sense the power behind your words and are drawn to it because it signals clarity, purpose, and reliability. In conclusion, use strong words that match your strong mindset, because your speech is a reflection of your inner strength. Speak decisively, with clarity, with conviction, and with intention. Listen actively, take responsibility, and communicate with emotional awareness. Align your words with your actions, practice daily, and reinforce your mindset with every statement. Strong words build strong influence, strong trust, and strong relationships. They are the tools that convert thought into action, ideas into results, and vision into reality. Choose your words wisely. Speak with strength. Match your speech to the power of your mind, and watch your life transform as people respond to the clarity, confidence, and determination you project with every word you speak. There is incredible power in saying less and allowing your presence to speak for you. People often believe that influence comes from talking more, explaining more, and convincing more. They think that constant words are the key to being heard. The truth is the opposite. Your presence communicates far more than the words you speak. It communicates confidence, integrity, focus, and authority. It signals that you are in control of your thoughts, your emotions, and your intentions. Presence carries weight because it is rooted in authenticity, clarity, and self-assuredness. People naturally respond to presence. They feel it, they notice it, and they respect it even before you utter a single word. To cultivate this presence, you must first understand yourself. You must know who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to convey without having to explain it constantly. Presence is not about showing off or performing. It is about being grounded, self-aware, and intentional. When you are clear about your values and your purpose, your energy changes. Your body language, your posture, your gaze, and even your breathing convey authority and calm confidence. People pick up on these subtle cues instinctively. They notice when someone carries themselves with quiet strength versus someone who fills every silence with unnecessary chatter. Saying less does not mean saying nothing. It means choosing your words wisely. Every word must have purpose, intention, and clarity. Avoid filler, over-explanation, and repetition. Instead, pause, reflect, and speak with precision. A well-placed statement can be more powerful than paragraphs of speech. It can inspire action, provoke thought, and command respect. When people realize that your words are scarce but meaningful, they pay attention. They listen carefully. They value your perspective because it is deliberate, not careless. This is the essence of influence. It is not quantity, it is quality. Your presence is amplified by your body language. Stand tall, maintain a calm and relaxed posture, and make intentional eye contact. Avoid fidgeting, slouching, or gestures that betray uncertainty. Every movement communicates energy. Every pause conveys thoughtfulness. Silence, when paired with strong presence, can be more persuasive than words. People are drawn to calm confidence because it signals stability and reliability. A room senses when someone is fully engaged in the moment, attentive, and composed. That energy alone creates respect and influence. Listening is a critical component of letting presence lead. The less you speak, the more you can truly hear. Active listening shows people that you value them. It demonstrates attentiveness and empathy. It creates space for others to share their thoughts and concerns, and it allows you to respond in a way that is impactful and precise. When you listen first, your presence becomes a tool of connection rather than a barrier. People are more likely to trust, follow, and respect someone who demonstrates patience and understanding through silent attention. The energy you bring into any room matters more than the words you deliver. Your calm, confident, and focused presence sets the tone for the environment around you. People pick up on emotional energy, even when it is subtle. If you enter a situation with clarity and purpose, others sense it. Your intentions are visible through your demeanor, your expressions, and the rhythm of your speech. Saying less allows people to feel your strength rather than hear it. They experience it in real time and respond accordingly. Presence becomes a magnet because it is authentic, controlled, and deliberate. Silence can also create reflection and thought. When you say less, you allow others to process what has been said, to think deeply, and to engage more thoughtfully. Conversations become richer and interactions gain depth. People respond to measured speech because it conveys that you value quality over quantity. Your presence tells them that you are confident in your understanding and in your ability to handle whatever comes next. This approach fosters trust and admiration because people rarely encounter someone who is fully comfortable with stillness, observation, and quiet authority. Practicing saying less requires conscious effort. Start by noticing how often you speak out of habit rather than necessity. Observe moments when words are used to fill silence or ease discomfort. Replace those habits with intentional pauses. Allow your thoughts to settle before responding. Choose phrases that communicate your point effectively and then stop. Over time, this practice strengthens your presence. You will notice that your energy becomes more noticeable, your words more impactful, and your influence more profound. Presence is reinforced by preparation. When you are clear about your goals, your message, and your purpose, you do not need to over-explain. Preparation allows you to speak confidently without relying on volume or repetition. It gives you the freedom to pause, reflect, and let your energy carry authority. People sense preparation and competence instinctively. They recognize when someone has considered their message carefully and is communicating with precision rather than improvising without clarity. Presence is strengthened when preparation and authenticity converge. The mindset behind presence is crucial. Confidence is not about ego, it is about belief in your abilities, your knowledge, and your purpose. Self-assuredness allows you to speak when necessary and remain silent when appropriate. Your words carry more weight because they are supported by inner certainty. When your mindset is aligned with your intentions, every glance, pause, and gesture communicates strength without effort. People follow presence because it reflects a grounded and disciplined mind. The less you need to prove, the more people believe. Emotional control is another essential factor. Strong presence comes from the ability to remain calm under pressure. It comes from choosing your reactions instead of reacting impulsively. The less you let external circumstances dictate your energy, the more your presence dominates the room. People are drawn to calm authority because it reassures them. Silence, combined with controlled energy, communicates power and stability. Your presence becomes a silent command that people respect naturally. One of the most powerful aspects of presence is the ability to inspire through example rather than instruction. When you act decisively, consistently, and intentionally, people take notice. They do not need constant explanations. They watch, they absorb, and they model your energy. Leadership through presence is far more influential than leadership through words alone. Influence grows when people witness strength, integrity, and clarity embodied in real time. Presence becomes a living lesson in how to handle challenges, opportunities, and interactions. Saying less also cultivates focus. When you remove unnecessary words, you remove distractions. You create space for meaningful engagement. Conversations become purposeful. Your attention becomes more powerful because it is not diluted by constant chatter. People sense focus. They respond to it because it communicates respect, competence, and intentionality. Presence combined with focus makes your words sharper, your energy more noticeable, and your influence unavoidable. Silence paired with presence is also a tool for problem solving. When you say less, you allow yourself and others to process ideas deeply. decisions become more thoughtful. Insights emerge naturally. People feel empowered to contribute because they are not overwhelmed by constant input. Your presence alone communicates guidance, assurance, and competence, allowing collaborative solutions to form without coercion or over-explanation. Finally, letting presence do the work requires trust in yourself. Trust that your mindset, preparation, and energy are sufficient to create impact. Trust that people will notice your value without you having to announce it repeatedly. Trust that quiet confidence communicates far more than words ever could. Over time, this approach develops lasting respect, deep influence, and meaningful connections. People are drawn to your steadiness, your clarity, and your controlled energy. Presence becomes your voice, your authority, and your signature. Saying less and letting your presence lead is not a temporary tactic. It is a lifelong practice. It requires self-awareness, discipline, and patience. It requires mindfulness in every interaction, attention to energy, and alignment between internal mindset and external behavior. Presence speaks louder than speech because it is rooted in authenticity and confidence. People follow what they sense as real, stable, and intentional. Influence grows naturally when you master the art of presence. When applied consistently, this approach transforms relationships, leadership, and personal interactions. Conversations become more meaningful. People feel valued, understood, and inspired. Opportunities arise because your energy attracts attention without demanding it. Your influence becomes sustainable because it is based on respect and trust, rather than noise or persuasion. Saying less empowers you to lead, inspire, and connect in a way that words alone cannot achieve. In the end, the power of saying less is not in the absence of speech, but in the presence of authority. Let your energy, clarity, and intentionality communicate what words cannot. Stand firm, stay calm, listen actively, and allow your presence to resonate. People will notice, they will respect you, they will follow naturally because your energy speaks volumes. Mastering presence is mastering influence. Saying less becomes a tool of power, connection, and trust that lasts a lifetime. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools you possess. It carries your ideas, your energy, and your intentions into the world. Yet, when uncontrolled, it can betray your thoughts, reveal unnecessary tension, and reduce the impact of your message. Many people allow their voice to control them without realizing it. They speak too quickly when nervous, too loudly when frustrated, or too softly when unsure. A voice that is unbalanced communicates uncertainty and distracts from your message. To be effective, influential, and respected, you must learn to control your voice so it reflects confidence, clarity, and authority in every situation. Controlling your voice starts with awareness. Listen to how you speak in different circumstances. Notice your pitch, your pace, your tone, and your volume. Pay attention to moments when your emotions influence how you sound. The louder your voice gets in anger, the less influence you have. The quieter it becomes in hesitation, the less people understand your point. Awareness allows you to observe patterns and understand how your voice impacts the way others perceive you. When you can hear yourself clearly, you begin the process of mastering your voice rather than being mastered by it. The next step is deliberate control. Your voice should be an extension of your intent, not a reaction to emotion. Speak with purpose, pace yourself, and modulate your tone to match your message. Slow down when making important points. Pause to emphasize key ideas. Adjust your volume to hold attention without overwhelming. By controlling these elements, you communicate authority without aggression. Your message becomes compelling because it is intentional and consistent, not forced or erratic. Breathing is an essential component of voice control. Your breath directly influences pitch, volume, and steadiness. When you breathe shallowly or irregularly, your voice reflects tension and insecurity. Deep, steady breaths provide a foundation for a calm, confident, and controlled voice. Practice breathing before speaking, whether in conversation, presentations, or phone calls. This small adjustment stabilizes your voice and signals to others that you are composed and in control. Breath control is a subtle signal, but it carries enormous influence because it communicates presence and assurance. Mindset also shapes how your voice performs. A nervous or doubtful mind produces a shaky, inconsistent voice. A clear, focused, and intentional mindset produces a strong, reliable, and persuasive voice. Before speaking, align your thoughts. Know what you intend to communicate and why. When your mind is confident and organized, your voice naturally follows. Control begins internally. Your mindset and voice are linked, one reflects the other. Strengthening your mindset ensures that your voice never undermines your credibility. Tone carries more weight than the words themselves. A calm and firm tone conveys authority and composure. An erratic or shrill tone communicates instability and reduces influence. Observe how your tone changes in different scenarios. Practice maintaining a steady, composed tone, even in stressful situations. Your tone can diffuse tension, command attention, and inspire trust. Controlling tone is not about eliminating emotion. It is about channeling emotion in a way that enhances communication rather than diminishing it. A controlled tone signals mastery over self, which encourages respect and cooperation. Pacing is another critical factor. Many people speak too quickly because they fear silence or believe that rapid speech conveys confidence. Others speak too slowly, losing engagement or appearing uncertain. Optimal pacing allows your audience to absorb your message fully. It creates space for thought, reflection, and response. Practice varying your pace depending on the content. Speed up to maintain energy during casual conversation, slow down to emphasize critical points, and pause strategically to let key ideas resonate. Pacing demonstrates deliberate control and gives your words power beyond their literal meaning. Volume is equally important. A voice that is too soft may be ignored, while a voice that is too loud may intimidate or alienate. Adjust your volume to the room, the audience, and the content. Strong communication balances projection with moderation. Controlled volume communicates confidence without aggression. It shows that you are aware of your environment and considerate of others. People respond more favorably when they sense your awareness and intentionality rather than being overwhelmed or straining to hear. Practice speaking in different scenarios. Public speaking, phone conversations, meetings, and casual discussions all demand slightly different levels of control. Record yourself to observe tendencies and refine your approach. Notice patterns of tension, rushed words, or unsteady pitch. Make adjustments deliberately. Practicing voice control in varied contexts ensures that it becomes habitual and instinctive rather than forced. Over time, your controlled voice will carry authority, clarity, and credibility naturally in every situation. Emotion and expression must be managed, not suppressed. Your voice reflects your feelings, and that is important. A controlled voice does not mean removing all emotion. It means expressing it intentionally. Happiness, excitement, concern, or empathy should be communicated through tone and inflection, not volume spikes or pitch fluctuations. Controlled expression amplifies impact because it is consistent with your purpose and presence. People connect with emotional authenticity, but only when it is delivered with mastery rather than distraction. Listening and responding is part of voice control. A controlled speaker knows when to speak and when to pause. Interrupting or speaking over others signals lack of control and reduces influence. Waiting to respond allows you to consider your words, manage your tone, and deliver your message with clarity. Pausing also demonstrates confidence. Silence is not empty, it is a tool. It shows that you are in command of your thoughts, your speech, and the situation. Voice control also requires consistency over time. Occasional mastery is not enough. Every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce credibility, authority, and influence. People notice when you maintain composure consistently. They recognize reliability in both content and delivery. This steady presence builds trust, strengthens relationships, and ensures that your voice becomes a tool of impact rather than distraction. Controlled speech creates an aura of respect that words alone cannot achieve. Preparation enhances voice control. Knowing your material or understanding the subject matter gives confidence and reduces hesitation. When you are prepared, your voice reflects certainty and command. This eliminates filler words, hesitation, and unnecessary repetition. Preparedness transforms your voice into a medium of influence because it communicates clarity, competence, and authority. People respond to speakers who appear confident because they are prepared, and preparation allows your voice to remain steady under pressure. A controlled voice can also influence perception and emotional energy in a room. Calm, deliberate speech can reduce tension, promote cooperation, and encourage focus. Uncontrolled speech can escalate conflict, create confusion, and weaken credibility. By mastering your voice, you control not just your communication, but also the environment around you. Your voice becomes a tool for leadership, problem-solving, and connection. It sets the tone for every interaction and ensures your message is received as intended. Finally, controlling your voice is a reflection of self-mastery. It signals that you are aware, intentional, and capable of managing both internal and external energy. A controlled voice commands attention without demanding it. It communicates confidence, purpose, and trustworthiness. The discipline of voice control develops patience, emotional awareness, and strategic thinking. It strengthens influence because people listen not just to your words, but to the way you convey them. Your voice becomes an extension of your integrity, mindset, and presence. To master your voice, start by observing, practicing, and aligning it with your intentions every day. Focus on tone, pace, volume, and breath. Speak with purpose, control emotion, and pause when necessary. Prepare thoroughly and practice consistently in varied situations. Listen actively and respond thoughtfully. Allow your voice to reinforce your presence rather than undermine it. Over time, mastery will become instinctive. You will find that your voice no longer acts as a barrier or a liability, but as a bridge for influence, connection, and impact. Controlling your voice transforms your communication, relationships, and leadership. People respond to calm authority because it signals competence. They trust speakers who maintain composure because it signals reliability. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to strengthen influence rather than risk diminishing it. A controlled voice reflects discipline, presence, and intention. It allows you to communicate powerfully without forcing attention or resorting to unnecessary repetition. Your voice becomes a tool of clarity, trust, and respect, shaping outcomes without demanding them. Your voice is not just sound. It is energy, influence, and intention made audible. Mastering it means you are never at the mercy of anxiety, emotion, or circumstance. You speak with clarity, purpose, and authority because your internal mindset governs your external expression. When your voice is controlled, people feel your presence, respect your message, and respond positively to your influence. Mastery of your voice is mastery of opportunity. It ensures that you lead, inspire, and connect in ways that words alone could. Talking is one of the most common actions we do every day, yet very few people talk with true intent. Most conversations are filled with noise, repetition, and words that add little value. People speak to fill silence, to appear engaged, or simply because they feel the pressure to respond. Speaking without intent diminishes your influence, dilutes your message, and often creates confusion. Every word you say carries energy and meaning. When your words are intentional, they have power. They convey purpose, clarity, and direction. When your words lack intent, they signal uncertainty, distraction, and lack of focus. To communicate effectively and inspire trust, you must speak deliberately, with awareness, and with clear intention behind every statement. Intentional talking starts with clarity of thought. You must know exactly what you want to communicate before speaking. What is the message you intend to deliver? What action or understanding do you want from the person you are addressing? When your thoughts are organized, your words flow naturally and precisely. Intentional speech is not about rehearsed lines or formal language. It is about matching your inner clarity with external expression. People can sense when you speak from understanding versus when you speak out of habit or anxiety. Intentional words carry confidence and energy that resonate with others. The first step is awareness of your tendency to speak without purpose. Notice moments when you talk simply to avoid silence. Often, silence is uncomfortable and people rush to fill it. That discomfort leads to chatter, filler words, and weak statements that distract from the real message. Silence itself is not empty. It is a space for thought, reflection, and careful consideration. Learning to tolerate silence allows you to respond with intention rather than reaction. When you pause and reflect, your words become meaningful, not automatic. Intentional speech turns conversation into connection and dialogue into influence. Intentional speech also demands honesty and directness. Speak only what you genuinely mean. Avoid exaggeration, speculation, or statements made to impress others. Words delivered without sincerity carry no weight. People can detect insincerity even when it is subtle. Speaking with intent requires courage because it often means saying exactly what is true even when it may be difficult. It requires restraint because it means avoiding unnecessary explanations, rambling, or repeating ideas unnecessarily. Every word should earn its place. Every statement should contribute to understanding, clarity, or progress. Preparation is a key factor in intentional communication. Before meetings, conversations, or interactions, take a moment to organize your thoughts. Identify the purpose of your message and the points you wish to convey. Consider how your words will be received and what reactions you intend to elicit. Preparation does not make you robotic. It makes your words precise, purposeful, and impactful. People notice when communication is deliberate and guided by intention. It builds credibility and respect, and it ensures your influence is strong and consistent. Listening is equally important to intentional talking. When you speak, it should be in response to what you have heard, observed, or understood. Active listening allows your words to align with the context and needs of the listener. When your speech responds to reality rather than assumption, it carries relevance and impact. Talking with intent is a two-way process. It is about providing value to the listener, not about filling space or demonstrating knowledge. By listening first, you ensure your words are meaningful and your message resonates. Every conversation is an opportunity to practice intentional speech. In casual interactions, avoid idle chatter and trivial repetition. In professional settings, focus on clarity and actionable points. In personal relationships, choose words that encourage understanding, support, and trust. The more deliberate you are, the more people will notice. Intentional speech signals that you value your thoughts, your message, and the time of those you are addressing. It creates a presence that draws attention, inspires respect, and fosters connection. Emotional awareness enhances intentional speech. Words influenced by uncontrolled emotion can cause confusion, conflict, or misunderstanding. Intentional speech manages emotion without suppressing it. It communicates honesty and thoughtfulness while maintaining composure. Even when passionate, intentional words are measured, clear, and directed. Controlling emotion does not mean removing energy from speech. It means channeling it to strengthen impact and clarity. People respond to this mastery because it demonstrates self-discipline, emotional intelligence, and purposeful communication. Pauses are a tool for intentional communication. They give the speaker time to think and the listener time to process. Pauses emphasize key points, allow reflection, and convey confidence. Silence, when used intentionally, enhances meaning. It shows that your words are chosen deliberately and are worth listening to. People respect speech that is thoughtful rather than rushed. Pauses transform ordinary communication into impactful dialogue. They create weight behind every statement and leave room for the message to be absorbed. Choosing words carefully is critical. Avoid filler words, weak qualifiers, and excessive repetition. Replace them with direct, precise, and strong language. Say what you mean with clarity and conviction. Words are not simply sounds. They carry energy that shapes perception. When you speak with intent, your words reflect your mindset, your understanding, and your priorities. People are influenced by the way you communicate as much as by the content itself. Strong, intentional words build trust, credibility, and authority naturally. Intentional speech also means avoiding unnecessary conflict. Speaking just to argue, correct, or impress often leads to friction. Speaking with purpose focuses on creating understanding, sharing insights, and guiding action. Words should solve problems, illuminate ideas, or strengthen relationships. When your speech is intentional, you reduce wasted energy on misunderstanding, defensiveness, or miscommunication. You become someone who adds value in every interaction rather than someone who merely occupies space with noise. Consistency reinforces intentional speech. The more consistently you communicate with purpose, clarity, and relevance, the stronger your influence becomes. People begin to recognize that your words are meaningful and reliable. They listen attentively because they know your speech is grounded in thought and intention. Over time, this consistency transforms perception. You are no longer just another voice in the room. You become a presence of authority, trust, and insight. Intentional talking also cultivates focus. When you speak to fill silence, you scatter attention and dilute energy. When you speak with purpose, you concentrate energy, direct focus, and generate clarity. Every word counts. Every statement is a contribution. Intentional communication encourages engagement, thoughtful responses, and collaborative outcomes. People respond positively because they feel the weight, relevance, and value of what is being said. Speaking with intent turns ordinary interactions into powerful opportunities to connect, influence, and inspire. Finally, talking with intent is a reflection of self-respect and discipline. It signals that you value your own thoughts, ideas, and time. It also communicates respect for the people you interact with. They notice that you do not waste words or energy. They notice that you speak thoughtfully, purposefully, and deliberately. Over time, this habit transforms relationships, builds credibility, and strengthens influence. Your words become tools of clarity, understanding, and action rather than noise, distraction, or filler. Intentional speech is a skill developed through practice, reflection, and awareness. Begin by observing your conversations, noticing where words are used without purpose. Pause, breathe, and ask yourself if your words add value. Replace filler with meaning, hesitation with clarity, and reaction with thoughtful response. Align speech with mindset. Make every word count. Speak to create understanding, inspire action, and strengthen connection. Over time, speaking with intent becomes second nature. Your presence, your credibility, and your influence expand naturally. Mastering the art of talking with intent transforms not only communication, but also perception, relationships, and opportunities. People listen carefully because your words are deliberate. They trust what you say because it is consistent and meaningful. They respect you because your speech demonstrates thoughtfulness, clarity, and purpose. Speaking with intent ensures that your voice adds value to every interaction, builds influence, and reinforces the strength of your presence. It turns conversation into connection and dialogue into progress. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to practice intentional speech. Every moment of silence becomes a chance to reflect and choose words that matter. Every conversation becomes a tool for clarity, understanding, and influence. By speaking with purpose, you transform the ordinary into the meaningful. People notice, they respond, and your influence grows. Intentional talking is a discipline, a skill, and a reflection of personal strength. It ensures that your words create impact rather than noise, connection rather than confusion, and trust rather than doubt. Every person you encounter will test you in some way. Not always intentionally, but life and people will push against your boundaries, your patience, and your confidence. Holding your space is about maintaining control over your energy, your mindset, and your presence, even when others attempt to provoke, distract, or undermine you. It is not about confrontation or aggression. It is about self-respect, composure, and consistency. People respect someone who remains grounded because it signals strength and integrity. If you let external pressure or emotional manipulation dictate your behavior, you give away control. Influence, trust, and respect come when you learn to stand firm, regardless of the situation. Holding your space starts with awareness of your triggers. Everyone has points of sensitivity that, when touched, cause reaction. Anger, frustration, insecurity, or fear can surface without warning. Recognizing these triggers allows you to pause before reacting. When someone tries to provoke you, notice the internal response. Do not act impulsively. Instead, take a breath, focus, and reaffirm your intention. Your space is yours to protect. How you respond, not how others act, determines the outcome. The first step in holding space is mastering yourself before attempting to master the situation. Confidence is essential. When people test you, they often do so because they sense uncertainty or hesitation. Confidence signals that you are grounded, aware, and in control. It is not about arrogance or dominance. It is about knowing your value, your purpose, and your principles. When you operate from confidence, attempts to destabilize you fail. You do not react defensively or overcompensate. Your energy remains steady, your words intentional, and your presence authoritative. Confidence reinforces your space because people instinctively respect self-assured individuals. Boundaries are a key part of holding space. You must be clear about what you will accept and what you will not. Boundaries are not rigid walls. They are defined limits that protect your energy and focus. When someone crosses those boundaries, your response should be firm but calm. Communicate your limits clearly without anger or hostility. Boundaries create structure for interactions. They signal that your space is valuable, that you will not be swayed by manipulation, and that your presence demands respect. Establishing boundaries is a demonstration of integrity and self-discipline. Presence is a silent force in holding space. How you carry yourself communicates more than words. standing tall, maintaining calm composure, and speaking with clarity all reinforce authority. People test reactions, expressions, and energy before responding to statements. When your presence is steady, people notice your stability and are less likely to challenge you. Presence commands attention without demanding it. It communicates control over self and environment. The stronger your presence, the easier it becomes to hold space without struggle or confrontation. Listening is part of holding your space. Often, tests come in the form of words meant to provoke or distract. Listening carefully allows you to understand intention and context. Do not react immediately. Take in what is being said, assess it, and respond thoughtfully. Listening creates a buffer between stimulus and reaction. It ensures that your words are purposeful rather than impulsive. People test those who react quickly without thought. By listening first, you neutralize attempts to unsettle you and maintain control over the interaction. Emotional regulation is essential. People often try to push buttons to see you react emotionally. If you allow emotion to dictate your response, you lose influence. Controlling your emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means choosing how to express them intentionally. Deep breathing, grounding techniques, or internal affirmations can help maintain composure. Responding from clarity rather than impulse preserves your energy and reinforces respect. Emotional mastery strengthens your ability to hold space consistently, regardless of the challenges you face. Preparation matters. Anticipate situations where your space may be tested. Think through potential scenarios, questions, or challenges. Consider how you will maintain composure, communicate boundaries, and assert your presence effectively. Preparation reduces uncertainty and strengthens confidence. It ensures that when faced with testing behavior, you respond with intention rather than reaction. Being prepared signals competence and control, making it less likely for others to attempt manipulation or provocation. Consistency reinforces your space. People test boundaries to see if they hold or if they shift under pressure. When your behavior remains consistent across different situations and individuals, it communicates stability and integrity. You are not swayed by intimidation, pressure, or manipulation. Your words, actions, and presence are aligned with your principles. Consistency ensures that your space is respected because people recognize that attempts to destabilize you will not succeed. Predictable composure builds credibility and trust. Language is critical in holding space. Speak deliberately, calmly, and without defensiveness. Avoid reactive language, sarcasm, or over-explaining. Choose words that reflect control, clarity, and intention. Strong language paired with calm tone signals authority. Weak or defensive language invites further testing and reduces influence. Your words are tools that reinforce the boundaries, values, and presence you maintain. They should communicate firmness without aggression, clarity without hostility, and confidence without arrogance. Patience is essential. Holding space often requires enduring discomfort without yielding. People may attempt to provoke repeatedly. Responding hastily or with frustration cedes control. Patience allows time to observe, reflect, and act strategically. It demonstrates self-mastery and restraint. Patience also communicates that you are not easily swayed, pressured, or manipulated. It reinforces stability and reliability, qualities that naturally attract respect and influence. Observation strengthens your ability to hold space. And watch how people test, what strategies they use, and how they respond to your composure. Observation allows you to adapt without compromising integrity. You learn which behaviors require direct intervention and which can be ignored. Understanding patterns helps maintain consistent control over your energy and responses. People recognize awareness and respond differently to someone who notices without reacting impulsively. Observing strategically reinforces presence and authority. Holding your space also requires self-respect. Value your energy, focus, and purpose. Do not allow others to diminish your presence or distract you from your goals. Respect for yourself communicates respect for your space. When you honor your time, energy, and intentions, you reinforce boundaries naturally. People intuitively respond to self-respect with recognition, cooperation, and deference. Self-respect is the foundation of influence and the cornerstone of holding space effectively. Accountability reinforces your presence. Stand by your principles and decisions. Do not shift values or opinions to appease others. Maintaining accountability signals reliability and integrity. People respect those who act consistently and do not compromise under pressure. When your space is defined by accountability, attempts to test or challenge it become less effective. Your authority is reinforced by your unwavering adherence to your own standards. Energy management is crucial. Holding space requires sustaining calm, focus, and composure, even in challenging interactions. Manage internal energy through reflection, meditation, or intentional breathing. Avoid wasting energy on reactionary behavior. Channel energy toward constructive responses and measured action. Controlled energy communicates strength and stability. People respond to this subtle signal more strongly than to words alone. Maintaining energy balance ensures that your space remains secure, regardless of external attempts to challenge it. Finally, holding your space is a demonstration of leadership. It is not about control over others, but control over yourself. It reflects discipline, self-awareness, and strategic thinking. People naturally gravitate toward individuals who remain composed under pressure because it signals reliability, competence, and authority. Holding space allows you to influence, guide, and inspire without aggression. It turns challenges into opportunities for demonstrating strength and integrity. Your presence becomes a stabilizing force, commanding respect and fostering trust effortlessly. Every interaction is an opportunity to practice holding space. Begin with small situations where boundaries may be tested. Observe reactions, refine responses, and reinforce composure. Gradually, this practice scales to more significant challenges, professional environments, and personal relationships. Each successful instance strengthens confidence, clarity, and influence. The ability to hold space consistently transforms the way others perceive you. They recognize steadiness, wisdom, and authority. You become someone people rely on, respect, and follow naturally. Holding your space requires courage, patience, and awareness. It demands that you protect your energy without aggression, maintain composure without rigidity, and act with intention without overreacting. Your presence, clarity, and behavior are your tools. Each choice reinforces influence, trust, and respect. When mastered, holding your space turns challenges into opportunities, tests into demonstrations of strength, and pressure into affirmation of your authority. Your life, relationships, and leadership all improve when you maintain your space consistently. Asking questions is one of the most powerful tools for learning, connecting, and influencing. Yet, most people ask questions without thought. They ask vague questions, superficial questions, or questions that lead nowhere. This creates conversations that are shallow, confusing, or unproductive. To truly understand, connect, and influence others, you must ask direct questions that lead to real answers. Questions have energy. They guide thought, reveal truth, and spark action. When you ask with clarity and intent, you open doors to insight and connection that otherwise remain closed. Direct questions start with clarity of purpose. Before asking anything, you must understand what you want to know and why. What information or understanding are you seeking? What result or action do you hope will come from the answer? Without clarity, questions become wandering statements that waste time and dilute focus. When your intention is clear, your questions reflect it. They signal seriousness, thoughtfulness, and respect for the conversation. 1000. People respond differently when they sense that a question is purposeful rather than casual or meaningless. Simplicity is key. Direct questions are simple, concise, and focused. Avoid complex phrasing, double negatives, or hypothetical layers that confuse the person you are asking. The more straightforward your question, the easier it is for someone to respond honestly and clearly. Clear questions eliminate guessing, assumptions, and miscommunication. They invite direct answers because the person being asked knows exactly what is required. Simple, precise questions are not basic. They are powerful tools of clarity and influence. Courage is often required to ask direct questions. Many people avoid direct inquiry because they fear confrontation, embarrassment, or rejection. Direct questions require confidence and honesty. They signal that you value truth over comfort. They communicate that you are willing to address important matters rather than avoid them. Asking direct questions demonstrates integrity and purpose. People respect someone who seeks real answers, even if those answers are uncomfortable. Courage in questioning strengthens trust, influence, and connection. Listening is critical after asking direct questions. A question is only as effective as your willingness to hear the answer fully. Pay attention to both the words and the tone of the response. Observe nonverbal cues, emotions, and hesitation. Sometimes, the real answer is not in what is said directly, but in what is revealed through subtleties. Effective questioning requires full presence. If your attention drifts or you prepare your next statement while someone responds, you miss the opportunity to gain clarity, insight, and connection. Listening ensures that the answers you receive are meaningful and actionable. Direct questions also require honesty in delivery. Do not ask questions to manipulate, trap, or control. Ask because you genuinely seek understanding. Ask because the answer matters to your decision-making, growth, or connection. Authenticity in questioning communicates respect and encourages transparency. People can sense insincerity quickly, and insincere questions will generate vague, guarded, or evasive answers. Authentic questions create space for truth, insight, and meaningful dialogue. When people trust your intent, their answers reflect openness and honesty. Timing matters. Asking the right question at the right moment increases the likelihood of receiving a genuine response. Observe the context, mood, and readiness of the person you are addressing. Direct questions asked too quickly or without awareness may provoke defensiveness or superficial answers. Questions asked thoughtfully in the right moment demonstrate attentiveness, patience, and respect. Timing, like clarity, is an element of influence. People respond more willingly when they sense that your questions are well considered and appropriate to the situation. Open-ended questions often lead to real answers, but they must be framed carefully. Questions that invite reflection, explanation, or elaboration encourage deeper thought and reveal insights that yes or no questions cannot. Asking, "What challenges are you facing?" is more effective than, "Are you okay?" because it encourages elaboration and detail. The goal is to uncover understanding, not to collect superficial confirmation. Direct, open-ended questions create space for dialogue, critical thinking, and meaningful insight. They invite truth, not convenience. Preparation strengthens your ability to ask impactful questions. Consider in advance the topics, outcomes, or understanding you want to gain. Reflect on what kind of answers will be meaningful or actionable. Formulate questions that are clear, intentional, and aligned with your clear purpose. Being prepared signals seriousness and respect for the interaction. It prevents rambling, hesitation, or poorly constructed questions. Prepared questions create influence because they demonstrate that you value clarity, insight, and productive dialogue. Follow-up questions deepen understanding. A direct question often sparks a response that leads to more insight. Listen actively and ask follow-up questions that explore specifics, motives, or implications. This shows attentiveness and engagement. It also ensures that answers are not superficial. Follow-up questions transform ordinary conversations into meaningful exchanges. They reinforce your presence, signal genuine interest, and guide dialogue toward clarity and actionable insight. Empathy strengthens questioning. People respond more fully when they feel understood and respected. Frame questions in a way that acknowledges the other person's perspective, feelings, or experience. Direct questions do not have to be blunt or harsh. They can be firm and respectful. Empathetic questioning creates trust, encourages honesty, and fosters collaboration. It signals that your intent is not to judge or control, but to understand and connect. Influence grows naturally from respectful engagement. Pausing after a question is a simple but powerful tool. Silence gives the other person space to reflect and respond honestly. Many people rush to fill silence, but thoughtful pauses communicate confidence and attentiveness. A pause encourages deeper answers because it removes pressure and creates room for reflection. The combination of a clear question and a deliberate pause is one of the most effective ways to elicit meaningful answers and demonstrate control in communication. Direct questions also create accountability. They require people to articulate thoughts, positions, or intentions clearly. Avoid vague or rhetorical questions that allow avoidance. Questions that demand real answers encourage responsibility, clarity. They also help build clarity in decision-making, problem-solving, and relationships. When people know they will be asked direct questions, they prepare, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. Direct questioning fosters an environment of honesty, integrity, and focus. Body language and tone reinforce the impact of questions. Speak calmly, confidently, and respectfully. Maintain open posture, eye contact, and attentive presence. Questions asked with authority and composure carry more weight and are more likely to receive meaningful responses. Conversely, questions delivered with frustration, sarcasm, or hesitation often create defensiveness or evasion. Align verbal delivery with intent to maximize effectiveness. Presence, tone, and clarity all work together to ensure your questions lead to real answers. Direct questions also promote efficiency. Clear, intentional questions reduce confusion, repetition, and miscommunication. They accelerate understanding and problem-solving. When everyone knows what is being asked and why, the conversation becomes focused, productive, and actionable. Time is respected, dialogue is meaningful, and outcomes are strengthened. Asking with intent transforms ordinary discussion into purposeful interaction that delivers insight, resolution, and direction. Finally, asking direct questions is a reflection of confidence and leadership. It shows that you are willing to seek clarity, confront uncertainty, and address reality. It signals that you value truth, action, and meaningful understanding over convenience or avoidance. When you ask well-crafted, direct questions, you inspire openness, engagement, and trust. People respond positively to those who communicate intentionally because it demonstrates control, focus, and respect. Questions become more than tools, they become instruments of influence, connection, and insight. Developing this skill requires conscious effort and practice. Observe how you currently ask questions, notice patterns of vagueness or hesitation, and refine them. Practice clarity, timing, empathy, and follow-up. Pay attention to responses, adjust strategies, and improve delivery. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to strengthen the quality of your questions and the depth of answers you receive. Over time, asking direct questions becomes instinctive, creating dialogue that is purposeful, engaging, and impactful. When mastered, the art of asking direct questions transforms communication. It fosters understanding, strengthens relationships, and inspires action. People respond because your questions demonstrate seriousness, respect, and engagement. You influence through inquiry rather than assertion. You uncover truth instead of assuming it. Conversations evolve into meaningful exchanges that provide clarity, solutions, and insight. Direct, intentional questions become a cornerstone of influence, leadership, and connection. Every conversation is an opportunity to practice this skill. Each question can reveal insight, spark dialogue, or guide action. Avoid filler, vagueness, or avoidance. Ask with purpose, clarity, and respect. Observe, listen, and follow up thoughtfully. Align questions with intent, timing, and empathy. Pause strategically and pay attention to tone and body language. The combination of clarity, presence, and intent ensures that your questions lead to real answers, meaningful understanding, and productive outcomes. Speaking is one of the most common ways we interact with the world, but most people speak to be liked rather than to be respected. They avoid saying what they truly think, soften their opinions unnecessarily, or agree with others simply to maintain approval. Speaking without backbone diminishes credibility, erodes influence, and creates frustration. Real communication requires courage. It requires honesty. It requires the willingness to stand firm in your convictions, principles, and truths, even when others disagree. Influence and trust are not built by pleasing everyone. They are built by speaking with clarity, confidence, and integrity. Speaking with backbone begins with knowing your values. Before expressing your thoughts, you must understand what you believe, what you stand for, and what matters most. When your values guide your speech, you communicate with authenticity and authority. You no longer rely on the fleeting approval of others. Instead, your words reflect conviction and clarity. People recognize strength when you speak from a foundation of principle. They respond to integrity, consistency, and honesty. Backbone is rooted in knowing yourself and ensuring your words reflect that understanding. Courage is essential. Speaking honestly often risks disagreement, criticism, or rejection. Many shy away from confrontation, believing that avoiding conflict will keep people on their side. The truth is that conflict is inevitable when you live by conviction. Speaking with backbone requires bravery because it prioritizes truth over temporary approval. People respect those who express themselves clearly, even when the message is difficult. Courageous speech inspires confidence, encourages respect, and positions you as someone who leads through integrity rather than convenience. Clarity strengthens backbone. Clear, concise statements reduce ambiguity and prevent misinterpretation. Speak directly, avoid unnecessary qualifiers, and eliminate filler words that soften meaning. Hesitation, vagueness, or over-explaining signals uncertainty and invites challenge. Speaking with backbone means every word has purpose. Your message is delivered with precision and authority. People respond to clarity because it communicates confidence. When your speech is clear, you gain influence, trust, and respect naturally. Confident, direct communication demonstrates strength without aggression. Boundaries are an integral part of speaking with backbone. They define what you will and will not accept in conversation, behavior, influence. Express your opinions without fear of judgment or dismissal. When others challenge your perspective, respond calmly and firmly. Backbone does not mean harshness or hostility. It means maintaining standards for yourself and your interactions. People respect those who uphold boundaries because it signals self-respect, discipline, and integrity. Clear boundaries make communication stronger and more effective. Tone conveys as much as words. Speaking firmly without aggression communicates authority. Speaking softly to appease others often communicates weakness. Modulate tone to reflect confidence, conviction, and composure. A strong, steady tone reinforces your message and ensures your intent is understood. Backbone is not loudness or intimidation. It is strength expressed through measured, purposeful communication. People respond to tone because it signals not only what you say, but also who you are and how you carry yourself. Listening is part of speaking with backbone. People who speak only to be liked often fail to listen because they are focused on approval rather than understanding. Backbone requires attentiveness. Listen actively, understand perspectives, and then respond with conviction. Your response carries more weight because it reflects comprehension, thoughtfulness, and principle. Listening strengthens authority because it ensures that your words are intentional and informed, not reactionary or performative. Backbone is demonstrated through thoughtful engagement, not simply volume or assertiveness. Preparation enhances confidence and backbone. Anticipate questions, challenges, or objections. Consider the purpose of your communication and the impact of your words. Preparation ensures that your speech reflects knowledge, insight, and reasoned thought. People respect those who speak from preparation because it signals competence and reliability. When your words are grounded in understanding rather than impulse, your backbone shines naturally. Preparation reduces hesitation, reinforces clarity, and strengthens the authority of your voice. Consistency reinforces backbone. People notice when someone shifts opinions or softens their words to maintain favor. Speaking with backbone requires alignment between beliefs and expression across all interactions. When your speech consistently reflects values, principles, and intentional thought, influence and respect grow. People trust those who maintain integrity, even under pressure. Inconsistency erodes credibility, while consistent backbone reinforces leadership, reliability, and presence. People are drawn to individuals whose words are predictable in integrity, yet powerful in delivery. Patience is critical. Speaking with backbone does not require immediate confrontation or assertion in every situation. Sometimes strength is in timing, observation, and measured response. Pausing before responding allows reflection, assessment, and formulation of thoughtful statements. People respect restraint as much as assertiveness because it demonstrates control over emotion and intent. Backbone is not impulsive reaction. It is deliberate, informed, and composed communication. Patience ensures that your words carry authority without unnecessary conflict. Empathy strengthens backbone. Speaking firmly does not mean disregarding others' perspectives. Understanding where someone is coming from allows you to express disagreement or truth without hostility. Backbone, combined with empathy, encourages dialogue rather than defensiveness. People respond positively when firmness is tempered with understanding. Your words convey confidence and consideration simultaneously, fostering respect and collaboration. Backbone is powerful when rooted in awareness, observation, and sensitivity, not aggression or confrontation. Body language reinforces spoken backbone. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and carry yourself with calm assurance. Gestures, posture, and presence communicate conviction as strongly as words. Weak or uncertain body language undermines strong statements. When physical presence aligns with verbal expression, your words resonate more powerfully. People respond to posture and energy as much as content. Backbone is demonstrated through the harmony of speech, presence, and intent. It is impossible to ignore someone who speaks with authority and carries themselves with confidence. Follow-through demonstrates backbone. Saying something with conviction without acting in alignment diminishes influence. Words must match actions to maintain credibility. Backbone is not just verbal courage, it is the consistent alignment of speech, behavior, and principle. When people observe that your words are backed by action, trust and respect are strengthened. Speaking with backbone ensures that your influence is reinforced by demonstration, creating a lasting impression rather than fleeting approval. Backbone also requires discernment. Not every moment demands assertive speech. Choose when to stand firm and when to listen. Speaking with backbone is strategic, not reactive. It is about prioritizing truth, integrity, and clarity over seeking approval or avoiding discomfort. Discernment ensures that your words carry impact where they matter most. Speaking selectively, yet decisively, strengthens influence and ensures your presence is respected rather than overlooked. Finally, speaking with backbone is a reflection of self-respect. It demonstrates that you value your own thoughts, principles, and voice. It shows that you will not compromise integrity for temporary approval. People notice when you communicate from strength, not weakness. Backbone ensures that your words leave a mark, inspire confidence, and generate trust. Speaking with courage, clarity, and consistency transforms ordinary conversations into opportunities for influence, leadership, and meaningful connection. Developing the habit of speaking with backbone requires conscious effort. Observe moments when you soften opinions or speak for approval. Practice expressing thoughts with clarity, courage, and principle. Align body language, tone, and presence with words. Respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Gradually, this habit strengthens, shaping communication that commands respect and fosters influence. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to demonstrate strength, integrity, and purpose. Speaking with backbone does not alienate people, it earns genuine respect. People prefer honesty and clarity over superficial agreement. They trust those who stand firm in principle, even when opinions differ. Backbone in speech cultivates credibility, builds influence, and strengthens relationships. Your words become a source of guidance rather than a tool for approval. Speaking with integrity transforms dialogue into connection, negotiation into collaboration, and conversation into influence. Every word matters. Speaking with backbone means choosing words carefully, communicating with intent, and standing firm without hostility. Courage, preparation, empathy, patience, and consistency combine to create speech that commands attention and respect. Your influence grows because people recognize authenticity, clarity, and integrity. Speaking with backbone ensures that your presence is felt, your message is understood, and your voice becomes a tool for trust, influence, and meaningful impact. Words are more than sounds. They are reflections of who we are, what we believe, and the standards we hold. Every sentence you speak communicates something about your values, integrity, and priorities. People listen not only to the content of your words, but also to the character behind them. If your words are careless, inconsistent, or weak, they signal a lack of standards. If your words are intentional, truthful, and aligned with your principles, they demonstrate strength, credibility, and influence. To communicate effectively, to inspire trust, and to create impact, every word speak must reflect your values and standards. Start by understanding your personal values. What principles guide your decisions, behavior, and life? What standards do you refuse to compromise? Without this clarity, your words may drift, contradict, or confuse. When you know your values, every word you choose reinforces them. Speaking with values means that your communication is not reactive, shallow, or performative. It is deliberate, meaningful, and trustworthy. People notice when words are grounded in principles. Consistency between belief and speech builds respect and establishes authority. Clarity of thought is essential. Before speaking, pause and ask yourself what you want to communicate and why. Avoid speaking impulsively or repeating what others expect you to say. Words spoken without thought often dilute the message and diminish credibility. When your thoughts are clear, your words naturally carry your values and standards. Every statement becomes purposeful. Every sentence communicates intention, not noise. Clarity ensures that your words match your standards and project authenticity. Intentional speech requires discipline. It is easy to fall into casual patterns of speaking that lack focus, precision, or substance. To make every word count, you must filter what you say through the lens of your principles. Avoid gossip, idle chatter, and meaningless repetition. Focus on messages that convey value, truth, or insight. Discipline in speech demonstrates maturity and integrity. People respond to those who speak thoughtfully because it signals self-control and respect for both their own energy and the energy of others. Consistency between words and actions strengthens your standards. Saying one thing and doing another erodes trust immediately. Your words must reflect what you live by every day. Standards are not only spoken, they are demonstrated. If you value honesty, speak truthfully, even when it is uncomfortable. If you value excellence, choose words that reflect thoughtfulness and precision. When people see alignment between speech and behavior, your influence deepens and your credibility grows. Words become evidence of character rather than empty sounds. Precision matters. Avoid filler words, over-explaining, and vague statements. Every word should have purpose and meaning. Speak clearly, directly, and intentionally. This precision reflects the standards you uphold. Weak language, hesitation, or ambiguity signals uncertainty and undermines the authority of your message. Strong, precise words communicate confidence, clarity, and high standards. People respect individuals who express themselves deliberately and who invest thought into every sentence. Precision turns ordinary communication into powerful influence. Honesty reinforces values. Speak with truthfulness, regardless of how others may react. Avoid saying what is expected or convenient if it contradicts your standards. Honest speech is courageous because it may provoke disagreement or discomfort, but it demonstrates integrity. People respect those who communicate truthfully. It shows that your words are not disposable and that your standards are non-negotiable. Honesty creates trust, which is the foundation of meaningful connection and influence. Preparation is key. Before engaging in important conversations, take time to organize your thoughts. Determine the points that reflect your values and communicate your standards. Preparation ensures that your words are deliberate, measured, and impactful. When you speak without preparation, even strong intentions can be lost in rambling or repetition. Being ready to communicate reflects professionalism, seriousness, and commitment to maintaining standards. Prepared speech carries weight and commands attention naturally. Listening enhances the integrity of your words. You cannot align every word with your values if you do not understand the context, the needs, and the perspectives of those you are addressing. Active listening allows you to respond thoughtfully, ensuring that your speech is grounded in understanding and respect. When your words reflect insight gained through listening, they demonstrate higher standards of communication. People respond to those who speak with awareness and comprehension because it signals intelligence, care, and authenticity. Intentional language requires courage. Upholding your values in speech often means standing firm in the face of disagreement, pressure, or criticism. Many people shy away from this, preferring approval over authenticity. Speaking with courage ensures that every word is consistent with your principles rather than compromised by fear. People respect those who maintain integrity, even under challenge. Words delivered with courage communicate confidence, influence, and leadership naturally. Empathy strengthens the alignment of words with values. While your words must reflect your principles, they should also consider the feelings and perspectives of others. Balancing honesty with understanding enhances connection without sacrificing standards. Words spoken with empathy carry influence because they demonstrate insight and thoughtfulness. Standards are not rigid walls but guides for respectful, purposeful communication. When your words show values and consideration, they foster trust, engagement, and respect. Discretion and restraint reinforce high standards. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Words said impulsively, in frustration, or without consideration can contradict values and diminish credibility. Choosing when and how to speak ensures that your words remain meaningful and aligned with your principles. Restraint demonstrates maturity and self-control, reflecting higher standards of communication. People notice intentional silence as much as intentional speech. Both convey discipline and reinforce the strength of your character. Backbone is critical. Do not compromise your words for temporary approval, social acceptance, or convenience. Speak firmly and consistently with your values in mind. Backbone ensures that your speech communicates authenticity rather than passivity. People respect words that are unwavering in principle, even when they challenge, provoke, or require courage. Speaking with backbone elevates your presence, influence, and credibility because it signals that your standards cannot be compromised. Storytelling and examples can amplify values in speech. Share personal experiences, lessons learned, or observations that demonstrate the principles behind your words. When you illustrate values through lived experience, words gain authenticity and impact. People connect to truth that is tangible rather than abstract. Demonstrating standards through narrative reinforces the message, making your words memorable, credible, and influential. Follow-up and accountability strengthen alignment between words and standards. Ensure that commitments made verbally are acted upon. When promises are kept and actions reflect speech, your words become evidence of integrity rather than empty statements. Accountability reinforces trust, credibility, and influence. People respond to those whose speech is reliable, consistent, and backed by action. Words aligned with values and standards become the foundation for lasting relationships and leadership. Every interaction is an opportunity to practice this principle. Speak intentionally in casual conversations, professional discussions, and personal interactions. Monitor the consistency, clarity, and integrity of your words. Reflect on moments when your speech may have deviated from your values. Learn, adjust, and improve continuously. Over time, the habit of aligning every word with values and standards becomes instinctive, creating communication that is powerful, trustworthy, and transformative. Speaking with values and standards is a lifelong discipline. It requires awareness, courage, clarity, and reflection. Every word matters because it shapes perception, builds influence, and reflects character. Words aligned with principles communicate reliability, wisdom, and integrity. They inspire trust, deepen connections, and reinforce credibility. Speaking intentionally transforms ordinary dialogue into an instrument of influence and leadership. When every word reflects your values, Your presence becomes a statement of integrity, your voice becomes a tool of influence, and your communication becomes a lasting force for connection and impact. The strength of your words defines the strength of your life. Values and standards are not optional, they are essential. Each word you speak either reinforces your integrity or weakens it. Be deliberate, be intentional, and be courageous in your communication. Speak from principle, not convenience. Speak with clarity, honesty, and purpose. Over time, your words will not just be heard, they will be trusted, respected, and remembered. Every sentence, every conversation, and every interaction becomes an opportunity to reflect your standards and demonstrate the quality of your character. Speaking like someone who knows where they are going is a skill that transforms not only the way people perceive you, but also the trajectory of your life. Most conversations are reactive. People talk without direction, responding to circumstances instead of shaping them. This type of speech reflects uncertainty, doubt, and lack of clarity. In contrast, speaking with purpose communicates confidence, direction, and leadership. When your words reveal that you know your path, you naturally inspire trust, gain influence, and attract opportunities. People listen differently when they sense that your mind is focused and your steps are deliberate. Clarity of vision is the foundation. Before you can speak with direction, you must be certain of where you are going. Understand your goals, your values, and the outcomes you seek. When you know your destination, every word becomes intentional. You speak not to fill silence or gain temporary approval, but to convey insight, influence decisions, and move forward. Clear vision gives weight to your voice because people recognize that your words are guided by purpose, not whim. Your direction informs your speech, lending it authority and credibility. Confidence is essential. Speaking like someone who knows where they are going requires belief in your own path. Confidence is not arrogance. It is the calm assurance that comes from preparation, understanding, and self-awareness. When you speak confidently, your words carry authority. Hesitation or doubt in speech undermines perception and diminishes influence. Confidence allows you to communicate decisively, address challenges, and articulate goals without hesitation. People are drawn to voices that project certainty because it signals leadership, reliability, and competence. Preparation strengthens your direction. Think through key messages, anticipated questions, and important discussions in advance. Preparedness ensures that your words reflect thoughtfulness and intention. It prevents rambling, confusion, or miscommunication. Being prepared allows you to speak with clarity, authority, and focus, reinforcing the impression that you are moving with purpose. Preparation also ensures that your communication aligns with your goals, values, and vision, creating consistency that strengthens influence. Intentionality in language matters. Words spoken without thought scatter perception and weaken credibility. Choose words that reflect your focus, objectives, and understanding. Avoid filler, unnecessary qualifiers, or indecisive phrasing. Direct, purposeful language demonstrates that you are moving with intent. It communicates direction, knowledge, and leadership. People respond to words that carry conviction because they perceive that the speaker knows what matters, why it matters, and how to achieve it. Every sentence becomes an extension of your goals. Listening complements purposeful speech. Knowing where you are going does not mean dominating conversations or ignoring others. Active listening allows you to understand perspectives, adjust strategy, and respond with insight. When your words reflect awareness and comprehension, they resonate more deeply. Listening ensures that your direction is informed rather than rigid, making your communication adaptable while maintaining authority. People respect those who speak with both conviction and attentiveness, because it signals wisdom and thoughtfulness. Decision-making clarity reinforces directional speech. People notice when you waver or hedge in conversation. Knowing your path means making choices confidently and articulating them clearly. Decisions provide structure for dialogue, demonstrating that your words are anchored in intention rather than uncertainty. Speaking decisively inspires trust, encourages collaboration, and positions you as a person capable of leading, guiding, and influencing others. People follow words that reflect clear thinking, action, and purpose. Body language reinforces speech with direction. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and carry energy that signals confidence and clarity. Gesture intentionally, not distractedly. The way you present yourself communicates as much as the words you speak. When posture, presence, and voice align with purpose, your communication is amplified. People notice those who speak with coherence in both speech and body because it conveys authority, self-assurance, and focus. Directional speech is strengthened by a matching physical presence. Consistency in communication reflects direction. People are influenced by repetition of principle, tone, and intent. Inconsistent speech creates confusion and erodes trust. Speaking consistently in alignment with your goals, vision, and values reinforces credibility and authority. Words that are deliberate, clear, and stable signal that you are moving forward with intention. Consistency allows your audience to trust that your direction is not temporary, superficial, or reactive. It demonstrates reliability and strength of character. Energy and tone communicate confidence and direction. Avoid speaking timidly, uncertainly, or in a manner that signals hesitation. Tone conveys urgency, focus, and clarity. When your energy matches your message, your words carry influence. People are drawn to voices that reflect certainty and commitment. Directional speech is amplified when voice, tone, and energy signal alignment with purpose. Authority comes not only from what you say, but how you say it. Courage enhances purposeful communication. Speaking with direction sometimes requires addressing difficult topics, challenging assumptions, or stating uncomfortable truths. Courage ensures that your words are honest, principled, and influential. People respect those who communicate boldly yet thoughtfully. Speaking without courage often results in compromise, vague statements, or diluted impact. True directional speech is courageous because it prioritizes clarity and purpose over comfort or approval. Storytelling and illustration enhance understanding. People respond more effectively when concepts are anchored in examples, evidence, or lived experience. Using stories to reinforce your vision or principles strengthens the impact of your words. It demonstrates awareness, insight, and connection. Stories provide context that clarifies your direction and makes your communication relatable. Words grounded in examples communicate knowledge, intention, and strategy, making your purpose tangible and compelling. Follow-through strengthens perception. Speaking with direction is meaningless if words are not matched by action. People notice alignment between what you say and what you do. Following through on promises, commitments, or plans demonstrates integrity and reinforces trust. Directional speech without action lacks credibility. When every word is supported by effort and progress, influence grows. People trust speakers who walk the path they describe. Action confirms purpose. Empathy and awareness improve directional speech. Understanding context, perspectives, and emotions allows your words to be received as guidance rather than judgment. Communicating direction requires insight into the needs, challenges, and expectations of others. Words aligned with empathy demonstrate intelligence, respect, and leadership. People respond better when direction is clear but delivered with understanding. Influence grows when your speech balances purpose with connection. Pause and reflection strengthen communication. Do not rush words for the sake of talking. Strategic pauses provide space for comprehension, reflection, and emphasis. Pausing signals thoughtfulness and control. It allows both speaker and listener to engage meaningfully. Purposeful speech relies on timing and rhythm. Silence enhances clarity and impact. People respond to words that are deliberate rather than rushed because they reflect intentionality and authority. Adaptability ensures your words maintain relevance while preserving direction. Flexibility in delivery, tone, or approach allows your message to resonate with diverse audiences. Directional speech is not rigidity, it is clarity of intent applied thoughtfully. Adjusting for context demonstrates awareness without compromising principle. People follow leaders whose words are clear yet adaptable to real-world situations. Communication with direction is strategic and situationally intelligent. Speaking like someone who knows where they are going transforms influence, trust, and connection. Words become instruments of clarity, inspiration, and leadership. Each sentence communicates purpose, confidence, and integrity. People listen differently to voices that signal focus, preparation, and intention. Directional speech inspires action, fosters respect, and opens doors to opportunity. It transforms ordinary dialogue into a tool for growth, leadership, and meaningful connection. Every conversation is an opportunity to practice purposeful speech. Observe your words, tone, body language, and presence. Align each statement with vision, principle, and clarity. Remove hesitation, filler, and distraction. Communicate with intent, confidence, and consistency. Over time, speaking with direction becomes instinctive, creating influence that is respected, trusted, and impactful. Words become a reflection of purpose, action, and leadership. Speaking like someone who knows where they are going is not about arrogance or dominance. It is about clarity, confidence, and courage. It requires preparation, awareness, empathy, and alignment with values. Every word communicates a path forward. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to demonstrate focus, integrity, and purpose. People are naturally drawn to those who speak with vision because their words signal certainty, leadership, and direction. Communication becomes a tool for influence, connection, and have you ever noticed how some people instantly earn trust and influence while others struggle to be heard? It's not about luck, talent, or who they know. It comes down to how they communicate, how they connect, and how they show up in every conversation. Every word you speak, every pause you take, and every question you ask can either build trust or break it. Imagine being able to speak with confidence, clarity, and purpose so that people listen, respect you, and are inspired to follow your lead. In this video, you will discover practical ways to master the language of connection. You'll learn how to speak with intention, ask questions that reveal truth, and communicate in ways that reflect your values and standards. By the end, you will have the tools to build stronger relationships, influence decisions, and leave a lasting impact on everyone you meet.